Is it happening? Are the New York Giants going to bench Daniel Jones for good? Adam Schefter went on to Twitter and he hinted that it could be coming. We're going to react to that on today's show, but first, I want to try something new here. If you want Daniel Jones to be benched, sign the petition. Comment your initials down below in the comment section if you want the Giants to bench Daniel Jones for the rest of time. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Look, it's easy to quit right now on the New York Giants. They are 2-5, I think, on the season at this point. And I'll say this much. There's a lot to talk about. But you know what? On today's episode, we're talking about Daniel Jones. Let's talk about this tweet right here from Adam Schefter back on September 15th, the day after the game where the Giants got blown out by the Minnesota Vikings. It was actually the last time that Daniel Jones threw a touchdown at MetLife Stadium. Unfortunately, it just went to Andrew Van Ginkel, who plays for the Minnesota Vikings. He said Daniel Jones has a $23 million injury guarantee that could add to the Giants' QB dilemma this season. Look at the date, September 15th. And then Adam Schefter, he quote tweeted that, resurfaced it, repurposed it on Twitter, and said from just over 1 month ago. Now, why would Adam Schefter repurpose this article back to his timeline? Is it because Daniel Jones was benched partially yesterday? Maybe. Did he hear something? Maybe. Is he speculating? Maybe. But I believe that Schefter would not do what he did if he did not at least have a little birdie tell him that there's a little bit more conversations going on in the building for the New York Giants about benching Daniel Jones. I want to go back to that article, and I want to read this quote. Remember, this is after week 1. Schefter wrote saying, the Giants also have a question they may need to eventually address regarding Jones, who has a $23 million injury guarantee for 2025 that becomes fully guaranteed if he gets injured and is unable to pass a physical in the offseason. In recent seasons, other NFL teams have benched quarterbacks to avoid triggering injury guarantees. Look, the Giants cannot afford a Daniel Jones injury that would cause him to not pass a physical and then trigger the injury guarantee. This football team, if you think it's bad right now, it will be even worse 365 days from now if Daniel Jones is on the roster next year and he is accounting for $41 million. This team, this organization, they cannot afford that. And I'm not talking about the dollars. I'm talking about the people in the seats because they will stop coming. It will be full of Eagles fans when you play the Eagles. It'll be full of Cowboys fans when you play the Cowboys. No one wants to see Daniel Jones play football again this season, let alone next season. So bench him now because playing him is not even worth the risk. Playing Daniel Jones going forward as you are 2-5 on the season is not worth it. The juice is not worth the squeeze. I believe if the Giants lose next week on Monday Night Football to the Pittsburgh Steelers, 4 out of the 5 years where Daniel Jones was the full-time starter, the Giants would have started the season 2-6. So, listen to that. 4 out of the 5 seasons where Daniel Jones was the clear-cut starter, if they lose on Monday Night Football to the Pittsburgh Steelers, would have started the season 2-6. It is over. Let's talk about some stats that put some color to the picture. Shout out to my guy, WBG84, the best follow on Giants Twitter. Daniel Jones today set the NFL record for the most consecutive home games without a TD pass since 1970 with 6. What about this? Mike Clay, who covers the NFL. The Giants averaged 1.5 offensive touchdowns per game last season. That was with Daniel Jones, that was with Tyrod Taylor, and that was with Tommy DeVito. The Giants are averaging 1.3 offensive TDs per game this season. It is somehow worse than what we saw last year. My guy WBG84 again. The Giants gained 119 net yards and averaged 2.2 yards per play against the Eagles. The 119 yards and 2.2 yards per play are both the fewest in a home game for the Giants in franchise history. The day Saquon Barkley returns to MetLife Stadium, you have the worst offensive production day in New York Giants history. John Mara, I don't think you slept much last night, buddy. The Giants have scored 31 total points in 4 home games this season. Among all teams who played 4 games at home through the first 7 games of the season, that's the fewest since the 1997 Colts. So you're not just bad. You're not just all-time Giants bad. You are all-time NFL bad with Daniel Jones under center. And listen to this. Players with more passing TDs than Daniel Jones at MetLife Stadium since the start of last season. Zach Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Tyrod Taylor, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, Tommy DeVito, Sam Darnold, Jacoby Brissett, Patrick Mahomes, Tim Boyle. Who the hell is Tim Boyle? Jordan Love, Trevor Siemian, Geno Smith, Marcus Mariota, Matthew Stafford, Tua Tagovailoa, Mac Jones, Desmond fucking Ridder, and Bo Nix. I want to live a life where I can enjoy watching my football team. I will never do that with Daniel Jones at quarterback. The last time Daniel Jones scored a touchdown at MetLife Stadium, which was 680 days ago, Tom Brady was still in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers was a Packer. KD and Kyrie were on the Brooklyn Nets. And LeBron wasn't the NBA's all-time leading scorer. This was 700 days ago. And it's worse than you think. Everything we just showed you, it's actually worse than that. Daniel Jones has thrown 8 touchdowns in his last 14 games. Tommy DeVito, an undrafted free agent out of Syracuse in the great football powerhouse of Illinois, threw 8 touchdowns in 6 games last year. In half the games, in less than half the games, he has thrown the same amount of touchdowns as Daniel Jones. It's over. Your time ruining my life, Daniel Jones, is over. And I am praying that Brian Daboll, Brian Daboll does know that. If you haven't watched his post-game press conference, go do it. We'll talk about that in a second. That was a broken man up there. That was a defeated man. That was a man asking the Lord for questions how to fix this team because Daniel Jones is his quarterback. Pick a QB, though. Who do you think should be the guy under center going forward for this organization? Type 8 for Daniel Jones, type 2 for Drew Lock, or type 15 for Tommy DeVito? Unbelievable. Coming up next, I've got quotes and I've got reactions from Brian Daboll's press conference where he essentially said without saying that I cannot do this anymore if Daniel Jones is my quarterback. But first, you know what? There is one thing I'm proud about this football team, and it's this dude right here, and it's number 97. Brian Burns is playing through injury. Brian Burns is giving you everything he's got every Sunday, and he is still, while hurt, one of the best players in the NFL. Support someone that enjoys being a Giant, that shows Giants pride. Get his jersey today, chatsports.com/Burns. That's chatsports.com/Burns. I watched the Brian Daboll press conference 3 times yesterday. It was 8 minutes and some seconds. I watched it 3 times, and I took notes. Brian Daboll has 0 faith in Daniel Jones. This was a man that was lifeless at the podium. This was a man that was looking for answers to questions that there just are not answers to. Listen to this. Shout out to Dan Duggan. Covers The Athletic, one of the best in the business. He asked Brian Daboll, he said, "You haven't been able to create explosive plays with Daniel for 3 years. What gives you confidence Daniel Jones can do that now?" Do you know what Brian Daboll said? The first thing he said was, he's got some guys around him. Not that Daniel Jones is capable of making explosive plays. Not that Daniel Jones has the talent, the football IQ, the processing, the feel, the guts, the skill to get it done. It's that we've put people around him that we are hoping can create explosive plays for him. And then he said this, back to the drawing board, and we'll do the very best we can. Color in between the lines, Daniel. Way to keep trying. What about this answer? where one of the media members asked him, did you think about early in the game making the move of benching Daniel Jones to provide that spark? And Brian Daboll threw out a word salad. He said, yeah, I thought it was. Look, it was. He didn't know what to say. Then he said, the score didn't get out of hand. I thought we had some chances there to make some plays. We just didn't make them. Brian Daboll, did you think about benching Daniel Jones? Yeah, well, no, I can't say that. Yes, but no, but yes, but no. Daniel Jones has broke Brian Daboll. This was a man that used to ooze confidence. This was a man that used to be competitive. This was a guy in his first game as the head coach for the New York Giants, came back from a 13-0 hole against the Tennessee Titans, and he's fist pumping, showing electricity, showing nuts, and showing juice. Now he is a lifeless figure up there because of Daniel Jones. Look, the Giants didn't have a play yesterday that went farther than 15 yards. They didn't have a play of 15-plus yards against the Bengals. And I'm going to keep going to this from Doug Analytics. Since 2000, only 7 teams have won a game where their offense's longest play gained 15 yards or less. That's just 0.1% of all games. Brian Daboll went to the media and said, we keep on drilling and working and preparing and trying to fix 3 areas. Explosive plays, red zone, and third downs. And it's not working. Everything you are trying, everything you are installing, everything you try to do different, it does not work. You've tried different offensive line coach. You have tried different offensive coordinators. You have tried more and different receivers. You have tried different running backs. You have tried different tight ends. You've tried different jerseys. The only thing you have not tried is a new quarterback. What you are doing is not working. You are trying to paint a picture without the tools required. Try something new. Is it all Daniel Jones' fault? Absolutely not. But when you are the second most expensive player, when you have the second highest salary cap hit in the National Football League, and you're the quarterback for the New York Giants, and 5 out of your 6 seasons here have been a disappointment, you are going to be in the scope. You are going to be the one that deserves the blame. And you know what? Is it fair? Maybe not. But you know what? Give some money back. You don't want to be held accountable? Give some money back. And what did Daniel Jones do after he was benched? He was pouting. He was, I'll worry about myself. It was Brian Daboll's decision. You know what he should have said? He made a decision that he thought was best for the team, and I'm going to do everything I can to back him up and make sure Drew is the best possible quarterback he could be. What did Daniel Jones do? It's his decision. It's his team. I believe in myself. I believe in this offense. I want to be out there. I want to do this. I. Just because he said it in a tone that doesn't sound selfish doesn't mean the words that he said were not selfish. Daniel Jones cares about himself and nobody on the team. Because if he did, he wouldn't have signed that contract because he knows in his heart of hearts that if he is being taking up over 25% of the salary cap, this team will never be good. The Giants deserve a quarterback change. Giants fans deserve a quarterback change. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I know this show reaches a lot of people. And I know there's people inside that Giants building that watch this show. Giants fans deserve better. I have multiple people that watch this show that are season ticket holders. They sent me texts yesterday. I can't do it anymore. I can't go to games anymore. It's torture. It's embarrassing. Giants fans are fighting Giants fans in the stadium because of Daniel Jones. John Mara, Saquon Barkley was the star in your stadium yet again. This time he just played for the Philadelphia Eagles. And let alone fans are quitting, now players are quitting. Deonte Banks isn't even trying on defense anymore. For the second time this year, he has given up. Just stop giving effort. Not trying to make plays, not trying to contribute to winning, because he knows this team can't win football games consistently with number 8 under center. Maybe they can't win games with Drew Lock. I don't know. You don't know. But I know this. It can't be worse because you scored 10 points in the last 2 weeks. You were averaging 5.5 points per game, and you're losing. So it can't be worse. Deonte Banks, you're a fraud for that yesterday. We'll talk more about you later in the week. But this is what's most important. Empty seat after empty seat after empty seat after 10s and 20 and 30,000 empty seats are there midway through the fourth quarter. Game's still going on. And they left. John Mara. I'm not saying anyone should be fired. I'm not saying someone deserves to lose their job except Daniel Jones. This is embarrassing. This was once a proud organization. This is a blue blood organization, 100 years of being a franchise. And your fans are speaking to you. They are telling you, we don't want to watch the product anymore that you are putting on the field. Make a change. Your fans deserve better. Make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Hit me up over there, and let's go Big Blue.